Force fam, Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be checking out the updated Chancellor Blue list. Before we get into today's video, please make sure to check out my Patreon if you want to get more exclusive content from me. And please make sure, if you get anything out of this video, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, as it really does help the channel to grow. And make sure to sign up for the 5,000 subscriber giveaway, as well as we're right about to hit 5,000 subscribers, so you can have a chance at winning some packs from Spark Rebellion. So to get into today's list, so this is definitely, I talked about this in the last video I did. I kind of used this deck as an example as I was working on this deck. But this is definitely one of the trickier decks to build, because it already struggles with the inherent consistency issues, because sometimes you just can't play anything from your hand because you're on the wrong side of Palpatine or Sidious. And it definitely takes a lot of finesse, I think a lot of playtesting. I definitely think this deck has a lot of potential. But it's still early, still figuring this out. What cards make the most sense to be in here, what cards maybe you don't need as much of. Kind of where I am at with this list is like heavy Sentinels early on. I believe we have 12 Sentinels in here that can be played in the first 3 turns. And then, our mid game is very strong with Anakin, Vader, and Luke, which I think are just like 3 of the most powerful units in the game, especially when you combine a card like Xian Flurry with them, where you can ambush in and do -6 easily with Anakin in here, and -6 with Luke, and then remove a unit with Vader immediately and kill another unit. So there's a lot of potential to do double kills, even triple kills with Anakin potentially. I did originally, and I talked a lot about this in the last video, have the Qui-Gon's Ether Sprite in here as a way to trigger Anakin and Luke, and even Vader for the when played ability to give shield tokens. But it just didn't feel strong enough and it didn't happen enough, because you have to have the Qui-Gon in play, attack in, and then have the Xian Flurry in your hand, plus an Anakin or a Luke. And have the right amount of resources to do all those things. And it happened once every 30, 40 games. And when it did happen, it was incredible to get that -9, or even like a double -6 with Luke, right? It's really cool when you pull it off, but it's just very hard to consistently do. I still think it's worthy of not giving up on completely. But what I found is that cards like Evacuate were much more impactful around that turn, and just having more early Sentinels and having more early turn 1 plays to make sure I get that turn 1 hero in play, so that I can flip if I need to right away into Power of the Dark Side or into Chilson, so I have more control over those early turns. So it kind of just was one of those things. It was really cool in theory, and when you do pull it off, it's awesome. But for the consistency and the overall well-rounded of the deck's matchups and ability to do what it needs to do, it just kind of felt like it wasn't necessary. So three Xian Flurry has been really awesome. I've gone back and forth between 2 and 3. I think 3 is where I like, just because it's so impactful, especially with Vader. It's amazing with Luke, and of course Anakin is just really strong as well. But in particular Vader and Luke, because those cards get even better with the Flurry, whereas Anakin already does its own thing without it. But the Flurry really helps to make Vader and Luke just so much more impactful around the 7-8 resource turn. So I really enjoyed, and you'll see in some of these games today when I use Xian Flurry, how impactful it is to the game state and how much it swings the game in my favor. So it's just been really incredible. A couple of Bazine in the main and 1 in the side. I originally also had a couple of Long Pike in here. I was playing around with like a 2 Bazine, 2 Long Pike. But again, I felt like I needed more early plays to be consistent with that turn 1 hero, to make sure I had 12 plays there. And then I added in the 3rd Xian Flurry, were the cards that took the place of the Long Pike. 3 Kuil. Kuil's just really important in here. It gives us that early hero unit, the restore effects, and the card draw. I mean, we're almost always drawing a blue card in here, and it just really helps to set up Chilson. And it's just a great turn 1 play in general, and especially if we can get a Sentinel to protect it on the ground, like with the Loft Wolf or the Village Protectors, then we can just continuously gain that one life. That subtle one life makes a big difference in the longevity of a game, especially against aggro, and then just helps us to continue to find the necessary pieces to move towards our end game strategy, right? The three Lawful Wolf has been really strong. It's just a cheap Sentinel. Like I don't care that it doesn't attack at all. I still think it's great in here. It's just that cheap body that we put into place. It's also really important. Like if we're at 4 resources and we're on the villainy side, for example, we can play Lawful Wolf at 4 resources and still slow things down on the ground a little bit. So I think that's another reason it's important. 3 page Tico, I think just because it's a 3/2 at first, it's just good to be able to trade into something on the ground. And then second, it's really nice to pump up Concord Dawn. I mean, you could even technically pump up the Redemption or the Avenger. But it's been really nice to pump up the Concord Dawn to basically make it a 5/6 that attacks in and becomes a relevant attacker and a big Sentinel. And that's been really nice. So Page Tico has been nice in here, having 3 of. 3 Restored Arc, that was one of the cards that I added in the third copy for the Long Pike. I don't think it's like anything amazing. It just gives us another subtle restore effect. It trades into some space units early on, which is nice. Also sets up more of our losing hero units so we can flip with Palp. Gives us other targets for Geonosis, of course. And it gives us another target for Page Tico, which is another big thing. Like a Page Tico on a Restored Arc on turn 2 can just run away with the game. So that's another thing to keep in mind with this build, especially because we have so many Sentinels in here. Like being able to just have a big space unit, like what is it, swinging for 5 damage on turn 2, gains 1 life. That can close out a game real fast, especially when we're just blocking everything. So that is another potential win con in here. The 3 Concord Dawn, I think, is just absolutely necessary for heavy space decks. I still think this deck would struggle against like a Vader Yellow, just where a deck that's like entirely in space, because it's just not built for that matchup. It's more built for the ground. The 3 Village Protectors and the 3 Chilson, just to give us those additional ground sentinels so that we really slow things down. 3 Power of the Dark Side, of course. 3 Vigilance is very important as well, just to kind of stabilize in those more aggressive matchups. 2 Geonosis. Originally it was at 3. I've kind of gone back and forth, but I think 2 is fine. Gives us that exploitability when we need to. Even on turn 2 we can do that. And then it's just a good waylay effect, and it's a solid body in space, which is nice. 3 No Glory for those big units. A couple Fell the Dragon in the sideboard to deal with bigger threats as well. And then we get into like our value cards, right? And this is where the deck starts to take over with Anakin's, Vader's, and Luke's. And I think that's why Shean Flurry is so important. Like I said, Anakin does its thing by itself. It can flip the game in our favor just by itself without having the Shean Flurry. But we don't always draw Anakin. And Vader on 7 with the Flurry is, of course, very, very strong. And then Luke is good in its own right, of course, just by itself. But sometimes that we really need to stabilize, right? So let's say we're at 7 resources and maybe we're at 20 damage and our opponent has 2 or 3 units on board. We might need to Vigilance, gain 5 life, go down to 15 instead of just kill something with Luke, right? Because if we kill something with Luke, they could still swing in for 6 to 8 damage, especially if they have like a Rebel Assault, for example, right? But having that ability to then Shean Flurry the next turn allows us to double kill with Luke and gain 3 life. So it becomes a lot more of an impactful card. It's also, Shean Flurry is also very good with Snoke. Believe it or not, I haven't pulled that off yet, but attacking it with Snoke on 9 resources and giving each enemy -2/-2 while removing something on the ground is pretty ridiculous, and there's some insane things that could happen with that play. But Snoke is another one of our, kind of our closers. It pairs really well with Anakin, especially, but also pairs well with Luke, and sets up our Sentinels to be much more impactful on the ground as we turn the corner and stabilize. A couple Laser Blasts and a couple Evacuate, I think, are just really important for those games where we're not able to keep units on board. An opponent that plays against us really well will continue to remove our hero units at the wrong times, for example. Maybe when we've already flipped from villainy back over, and then they kill the clone trooper before we can, you know, use it on the Chancellor Palpatine side to flip back over to villainy. So there's things like that that happen, and that's why Evacuate in particular becomes really important early on because it's, we can play it no matter what side we're on, and it's just a way to kind of flush out the board and start over and kind of try to get ourselves right. Uh, it's been very helpful having that card in here, and there's an argument to even play a third copy in the sideboard, I would say. But because we're playing two Bounty Hunter crew on the side, I think two is fine at the moment. Uh, the Laser Blast, of course, is just very strong into like Snoke or Avenger. Sometimes even into like a Sheehan Flurry Vader or a Sheehan Flurry Luke or even Anakin. It's just all around. Laser Blast can help us just kind of get to a place where we can flip the script and start to use our value cards to take over the board, right? So it's just a way to clean house. And, usually we're going to have a lot of cards in our hand, so we're going to have that inherent card advantage. And by like 9 resources, we can usually have enough cards in our hand to find the things that we're looking for to get the game state in our favor. And since I've changed the list around, it's felt a lot better. So, and then a couple of Avenger to close things out. Again, that's a great end game card, and just that heavy presence in space. On the sideboard, you have the 1 restock for those control matchups. Third copy Bazine for control. Couple Fell the Dragon for more mid-range to control. The 2 Bounty Hunter crew for control. 1 Rivals Fall for just leaders that are a problem, and another big piece of removal. And a couple Redemption for those more aggressive opponents to kind of take the place of Avenger. Our main board is pretty well built for aggro. That's what we like to see, but Redemption's definitely coming in over Avenger in those matchups as another way to gain life to stabilize and slow things down in space. But yeah, I mean, since I've made these changes, this list has felt a lot better. I'd love to hear other people's take on this deck though, because it is such a tricky build, and especially people that have spent a lot more time playing this. Because I do think that there's a lot of potential here. But I really love the Sheehan Flurry. I love Anakin in here. Anakin's amazing. Vader's great in here. And then Luke has just gotten even better in here because of Flurry. So it's been really enjoyable. Loth Wolf has been very, very strong and a really nice addition to this deck. So I do think that it can compete. I definitely think it still has its own inherent weaknesses, though, of inconsistency at times. I do think it can recover sometimes from those inconsistencies because of the subtle life gain that you have going on throughout this deck. But it definitely sometimes can be very frustrating because you're just finding the right cards at the wrong time or the wrong cards at the wrong time. And you'll see me kind of trying out different things in these videos to get to this list where I'm at now. But would love to hear other people's takes. But let's get into a few games so I can kind of show you where I'm at. All right, let's let go of. It's actually a pretty good curve. Guess we're gonna go there. Okay. I think we're just gonna go Sentinels here. Just trade into that, play Village Protectors. Okay, that's not the greatest. That's better. Can't be captured, but it can be waylaid. Can also be no gloried, okay. Vader. Nice. We could just waylay it, right? Set him back a couple turns. I think that's fine. Seems good to me. All the Anakins, huh? I mean, that's not a bad thing when we have the discard pile that we do. Go ahead and play Chilson here. probably on 5. We can use Genesis to attack into Phantom if he keeps it. Okay, he's playing heavy. Just go 5/5 Sentinel. We lose the Chilson. That's cool. Pass. Now we have Anakin. Anakin gets online if Chilson dies. I could see us using Sheehan Flurry next turn. Genesis is still pretty good. So is No Glory, but Genesis is cheaper, especially against a deck like this. Snoke's gonna be pretty nuts. I could see us going back to back Anakin. Okay, well, we're definitely going Anakin here. Like I said, I could see us going back to back Anakin. Since we already resourced the other Anakin, I don't think we're going to be worried about pulling off the Qui-Gon play. Choose which unit to destroy. That one, right? Been played. Yep. Okay. Just we didn't lose a hero unit, so we can't flip into Snoke at the moment. We could flip next turn with Clone Trooper though, which I think is pretty good. Okay, let's do that. Definitely take out the Phantom first, just so that it can't get big and out of control, especially because we resourced the No Glories. Still have the Geonosis, but I think I'd rather just take this out at this point. We could always Geonosis if they do something else. I'm attacking the Phantom. Okay. That was smart of him. We can just attack him with this, and he's already used his ability. It looks. Oh no, that's his act. That's just his deploy ability. Okay. Devastator's pretty good. He can kill them both. Which he's not worried about. Okay. That's fine. We'll go here. So he can take that out next turn. Still no heroes have died. Bombardment, okay. He's going to be able to kill our Vader. We can do that to block the 9 coming in. It's actually a bad thing, but then we're just going to put another shield on it, so it's fine. Heal. Draw. Luke is good. Except we can't play it. Oh, sorry, yeah, we can. There's the Vader. Hope he doesn't have another bombardment. Vigilance is good. Okay, that's interesting. Snoke's pretty good here, I would say. Get in for 4. Okay, we got a Luke now. We have lethal this turn. Okay, swung in for 7. Um, you could have surprise strike, I guess, or bombardment. Bombardment is probably the worst thing you could have, right? So let's heal. And give a shield token to Snoke. And just win the game. Good game, good game. Devastator was a little scary there, but combination of Sentinels and life gain and the threat of Vader was good enough. Alright, no mulligan. What are we getting rid of here? A lot of good cards. It's tough. Let's try to get Khalil online. And see if the initiative, try to attack in. And get some card advantage. So he needs to attack with a Jedi unit. Okay. Another Anakin. Let's go ahead and play Village Protector, I guess. To protect Khalil. Jedi Lightsaber, that's always wonderful. Yeah, she's gonna immediately kill our Village Protector. We're gonna power either way, right? So let's just go here. Flip. Okay, he's gonna deal a damage. Or no. No, he doesn't have the resources for that. Okay. We'll just go ahead and power here. If he attacks, I'm imagining he's gonna attack first. Yeah. Get that out of the board. Okay, that's cool. Do we want to flip? I don't think so. I think we just want to kill again with power. Can flip this turn to go into Lawful. He flips on 5. Okay. So go ahead and flip. Try to ideally play the Lawful. If he flips the Kit Fisto now, then we're gonna just attack with Kuil because it doesn't matter. He's probably gonna try to kill that or that. Yeah, yeah, because we don't have time to keep Kuil alive. Okay. That's not a Jedi unit, so he's going to take 3 if he attacks into that. We have Anakin online now, which is pretty disgusting. Okay. Yeah, let's just work towards our big stuff here. I'm guessing we lose the wolf. Okay. This makes this go down to a 0-3. That makes that a 0-3 as well. Let's get rid of that. And that. Make that a 0-2 so we can kill it with the trooper, potentially. I think the only thing you could have that would stop that is like a cheap lightsaber. Okay. Oh yeah, Saboteur, okay. Uh, we're not flipping, so we could go Anakin again. I think Anakin again and keep the other Anakin online is probably our best bet. Could have a Luke here. Yep. Okay, he killed that. That's fine. We can just kill his Luke. Okay, switching over here feels pretty good. Power of the Dark Side plus no glory seems pretty amazing here. Force throw. Okay. Yeah, we could just let Anakin die. Power. Getting into Avengers is gonna be pretty good. Um, I don't think we want to flip. We think we just want to stay an Avenger. Yeah, just claim the initiative when he plays the next unit. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, those are both 4 HP. They're not going to get in for any damage, but they could with the Jedi lightsaber. These are all incredible cards. It's really hard to resource something here. Is Snoke better? I don't think so. I think Snoke is not better. I think we don't need the vigilance necessarily. This kind of puts us in endgame mode now too. I don't know if we're going to switch either. I think Snoke is a card we want to play next turn to kind of just shut down the board, right? We could play Luke also. Let's just pass and see what he plays to decide if we want to flip or not. I think that's where I'm at. If he plays if he goes wide, then Snoke's better. If he plays one big thing, then Luke might be better. Hmm. This gives us a 2/2. Flip back pretty easily. Let's just do it. Let's flip back. Okay. Sorcerer's Blast. Okay. Not bad. Chilson here at 5/5 is pretty strong. Snoke basically eliminates the board. We would have to resource though. At 10 right now. Still think Snoke's the best play. Okay. Had an answer for Snoke. Let's just go face. He's gonna be able to kill Avenger here. Just go there. Okay. Flip. Okay. Aim initiative. Another Avenger is pretty sweet. Do we want to play Avenger plus Bazine? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't want to resource any of these, so just resource Bazine. If we're gonna have to resource something, right? Okay. That's pretty good for him. We're getting close to closing out the game though. Okay. Okay, he's going to face, okay. Um Cannot play that. No. Oh wow, had another Fell the Dragon with that Kiadi Mundi play. That's disgusting, isn't it? Isn't it? That's two Fell the Dragons now. I think we've had enough of those. Um, Village Protector first, and then we're either going Snoke or Luke, depending on what we see. If he attacks with Kiadi Mundi, then we go Luke, just to take out Ezra. He did not. Okay. Works for me. Flip over to Snoke seems pretty good. If he doesn't have another giant piece of removal, right? Okay. Snoke plus. Yeah, either way, Luke's taking 5. That's a good draw, the Chilson, actually. Snoke kills Ezra, makes Chirk 1 power. Chilson blocks everybody. He can't kill it if we play Chilson or Snoke, unless he has another Force Throw, which he's already played 2, right? Or a Sorcerer's Blast. So there's definitely ways he can kill it. We're at 11. Play Snoke plus something. Could play Chilson plus Luke after Luke dies. Or we could even play Snoke here and take out 2 things, which I think is pretty strong too. Hmm. Play Luke next turn. To take out the turret. See what he does here. If he plays a unit, then I might just claim initiative and play Luke immediately. Okay, he used Kid Fisto. I'm sorry, what just happened? Okay, he's playing the Warrior. So we're definitely going to just go grab Luke. We're just going to claim initiative, go Luke here. Take out Chirrut. Yeah, let's just take out the Chirrut. The shielded Chirrut. Off Wolf is pretty good. Quill's not doing much for us at this point. Get up to 12. Take out that. Now we have no glory active too. That's the 3rd Fell the Dragon now. It's wonderful. He killed Snoke, right? I'm gonna be honest. 3 Fell the Dragons is quite annoying. So that combined with the 3 Force Throws. Let's get the shield off of this, perhaps. Flip over to Chilson, I guess. Could have played Lothwolf here, but it's not doing a lot. Okay. Could play Lothwolf to protect the Luke. He can't kill the Luke, though. Okay. Let's go Chilson, get a 5/5 on board. We have no glory next turn to flip back over if we want to, for some reason. Just claim. He doesn't have a Sentinel, okay. He's doing 2 to Luke, I would imagine, okay. Where are she and Flurries at, man? Where are they? I don't think Restart Arc's doing a ton. Alright, let's get in with Luke. Horses with me. Gets in for 5. We're gonna get in for 5 more. Go to 24. He can kill Luke plus Chilson this turn. Okay, we can no glory Yaddle flip into Hmm. I think Vader's even better, so you can protect Luke this way. Could also Geonosis the Yaddle too, if we needed to, or something else. Do we want to play No Glory? We could still play No Glory at 7, right? So we might as well. Yeah, when this deck works good, it's pretty disgusting. Um, yeah, let's just No Glory at 7. It feels like incredibly powerful when it does what it's supposed to do, right? Okay, but that's game. Good game. All right, pretty solid keep here. We're gonna go, guess this for now. Then to get some more aggressive opponent. Being in space is actually pretty good against them. Definitely gonna start restart arc so we can just immediately remove their space unit. Is the plan. Just waiting on our opponent to resource here. There we go. All right, going restored. Concord Dawn would be really nice. Drawn to probably the dark side would be good. We're just gonna go straight into the Phoenix at first. Another evacuate isn't bad, but let's diversify a little bit. Say we just go there, and then we can flip, draw. Okay. We don't have anything really to play here, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to sit tight. This is one of those awkward spots. No Chilson, no Bazine here, no power. The dark side, and no 2-drop from heroes that we could play. Um, we're getting close to evacuate, which is going to be good. It's going to have a black one as a 5/4 in space, potentially. He did not. Um, no glory either. Could play Bazine here. Flip over to hero. So he can get into Luke. Okay. They're at 5. They have Poe. I mean, I think I'd definitely rather get rid of Chewbacca than Poe. So we're going to evacuate anyways. But Chewbacca represents more damage. As a pilot, now he has the awkward, if he wants to maximize his piloting, he can't. Okay. Okay, he's flipping Poe on the ground. Okay, we can play Evacuate or Vigilance here. ECL's coming in, okay. Probably Evacuate since he's going with Poe. Yeah. So he's going to double kill here, which is fine. Evacuate or vigilance? I think evacuate, we just take 4. Then we can go Luke into laser blast. We could have gotten village protector, but Poe just would have been able to kill it. So I don't think that was the right choice. Evacuate's pretty strong though. Just sends him back a turn. Just gotta sit there with a Poe at 4 power, which isn't doing a ton. We're gonna have to get Luke down either way next turn just to get a unit on board. So that we can get into laser blast potentially. If he plays Poe again, which I would imagine he does. Okay. Just going blue leader. Interesting. As a 3/3, which is weird. Okay, so we can use Luke to take something out, which is nice. There's a couple of cheap units on the ground too. Still think Luke is the best bet though. Since we're just... Is Luke the best bet though? Because if we go the opposite route of just playing like a 2-drop and a power here, then we can definitely get the laser blast. Trying to figure out what's the best. So just for the Tico. Loop free. Okay. Just waiting on him to choose a card. Alright, we can go Vigilance here. Next turn we could do Flurry Loop, which is actually pretty disgusting. So let's do that. That's actually better. Let's take this out, gain some life. Yeah, because then we can kill 2 birds, 1 stone next turn. Now we can't because he has Yoda's lightsaber. Okay. We can, we just have to -3/3 on the Poe, which is fine. Yeah, that plan didn't go very well, did it? So now we just want to use Luke to take out Poe, gain 3 life, go to 11, and kill Black 1 is our best bet. Then flip into Super Laser Blast. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If he kills Luke, then we flip. Okay. Gonna pass. Either way, we can play Laser Blast. No, we can't. No, I'm sorry. Gonna pass. We want to flip if he kills Luke somehow. Okay, he's ambushing into Luke. Okay. So now we flip, gain life, 16, go to Laser Blast. Okay, cool. Boom. We got the Laser Blast finally. I'm trying to think, is there a reason to go to 9? Next turn, yeah, because next turn we can play Luke again. We also have another Laser Blast. Let's let go of... Because we could go Laser Blast, Power, or Laser Blast, Protector. Okay, let's get rid of the Protector, because I still might have Sheehan Flurry. Depends on what he does here. Okay, he's going big. This thing cannot be defeated. Either way, we can Sheehan Flurry here. For 8. Let's just go there. Okay, you claim the initiative. That's fine. Yeah, I don't think we're resourcing here. I think we're keeping all of this. Take 5. It's fine. Go Sheehan, Flurry, Luke. Timely. Okay. Means we might lose something here. Wrecker. That's a good one. Can kill, clone, trade with Luke. I mean, it makes sense. Okay. Or is it going in for damage with Clone Trooper? Okay, he's doing that. Okay, so we're just gonna gain some life, flip. Okay, and this is where I think we finally turn the corner. This is why Super Laser Blast and Evacuator are so important, because against a lot of these more aggressive opponents, the game can get really slow for us early on. Especially if we don't find Anakin, which we have not, which is like the whole point of our deck, right? Just waiting on our opponent. Okay. I think he might have left. Yeah. Maybe he'll come back. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you can see where the game has turned the corner. Ambush Luke was really good this game, so we finally got to do that a little bit. And then, here we tack in for 2, and then we have like a combination of Chilson, No Glory, or even Luke next turn if we wanted to. Just really depends on what our opponent has. And then even we could play Lawful Wolf if we wanted to flip like after Chilson potentially, and just go heavy Sentinels. But yeah, that was a good game. But Evacuate and Laser Blast are just super important. Luke, she and Flurry did a great job that game for us. That was big. Those 2 Sheehan Flurries with Luke's were amazing. That's really what saved the game for us, because otherwise it was getting kind of out of reach there.
All right,
Pretty quick.
Hamlet's pretty good. I have no idea what we're playing against though, so
Gonna drop the things that seem less likely to be important. Okay, I would imagine we're going to be playing against some kind of force units which are going to be on the ground. So let's start off with a Sentinel on the ground. Okay. Don't really care about that. Wheel's pretty good. I think I prefer Kawil over Restored Arc. I can maybe play Kawil next turn. I'm thinking. I do like the idea of going ahead and getting established with card draw though. So let's get the Kawil down. If he goes like some kind of way to boost up this card, like with the lightsaber, then we'll just flip, go power. See what he does though. Okay, he does have space units. Good to know. Um, okay, so we're definitely gonna play Concord Dawn then. Okay, that's an easy choice there. Interesting game so far. Let's go Concord Dawn to slow him down in space.
Possible escape. Okay, exhausted our Kuil. Okay, just pass. See what he does. Undefeated. The next unit you play gets ambush. Um, this does have raid too. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason we want to flip over anyways right now. I think we're just trying to claim initiative attack with Kuil to get some card advantage. I think Snoke is going to be actually very good here. I also think Concord Dawn is going to be pretty important. The card that is least important right now is Power. Because of how wide they are, they could just choose the weakest unit. So let's go here. That's a good draw. A very good draw. Start getting that card advantage, right? Okay. He's exhausting something else. Okay. Not too worried about that. Um, I think there's a world where either way, let's play Loth, right? Because either way, we're going to play that card, and then we can decide if we want to go space or ground, depending on what happens. Sentinels all over the place. Will of the Forest, okay. That's totally fine. Uh, I'm gonna go Concord because I feel like space is gonna be our weakness here, so we want to be as strong as we can there. Okay. So he's got a shielded Grand Inquisitor. I don't think we're flipping because we have two really good Sentinels on the ground. So we're just gonna take initiative. Okay. No glory is good. We're at 6 now. Hmm. Let's get rid of one of these vigilance. Nothing here has Saboteur, so let's go Village Protector. And then attack with Kuil. And then if he tries to waylay Village Protector, we'll play that again. Okay, there's a card. So he's doing 5. So he takes out Kuil and a Concord Dawn. Okay. We can't take out the Concord Dawn if he attacks the Village Protector. Okay. Let's go head and attack into the Phantom, I think. To basically force him to attack. Could have played. Okay. And then we go here, and then I think we're flipping now. He takes out the Lost Wolf, probably. Draw. Okay. Take one. Could play Lost Wolf at 4. Or he could play No Glory. I think Lost Wolf is honestly still one of the best choices we have. I don't want to get rid of any of these expensive things. No Glory seems like it's going to be pretty impactful. We can also use Luke soon. Do we want to flip or we just want to go Snoke? I think we want to flip. I think we're in a good spot. Just trying to get this Luke, Snoke, and Avenger and take this game over, right? Clone Trooper sets us up to play Luke at -6 cost, which is good. Don't think we need Page Tico. Let's go to Grand Inquisitor. Play Luke and take that out. Flip into Snoke. Could have Vader here, but it's really not doing that much at this point. No Glory is going to be important for. Okay, Luke is. Or Anakin's going to be super good now. Okay, let's go Anakin, get the double kill. Anakin came right on time, right? Power of the Dark Side would be nice right now. Almost enough to play up a Zine too, but it's fine. I'm gonna hold on to that Vader. I think. It's already resourced 1, right? Yeah. So we can play No Glory and then play Page Tico and still stay. On the villainy side. I think one card I would really like to find is the other copy of Sheehan Flurry if we could. Avenger is the next card we're looking for at this point. I would like to flip for the reason of being able to draw cards again. Okay. Let's. I hate to resource another Vader. Just feels wrong, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't want to do that. Take control of a non-leader unit. Okay, so he takes 5, whatever. That's fine. He could attack our Snoke for 3 and then die. We don't really want that to happen. We could give it a shield with Vader. I think that's not a bad idea, right? just so that it doesn't do any damage to us. He can attack our base, but we don't really care about that. Then we just have two shielded units. I think we can flip now and play Page Tico. Yeah, I was gonna say either way it's good for us because we're gonna keep two shielded units or take some damage. Like I do not, I'm not worried about that. And our board state just gets really wide now. And then next turn we can still play Snoke if we want to. Sheehan Flurry. Okay. I'm not sure what he was doing there. Maybe he had a non-force unit. I don't know. Okay. I don't think we're. I'm gonna hold the laser blast just in case there's a reason that makes sense. But for now, we're just gonna go Snoke and just continue our board dominance and try to close this game out. But having this shielded Vader and Anakin is so cool right now. Like, even if he has Devastator, like he can kill Snoke, but then we have no glory, right? I think this might be where our opponent either concedes. Okay, he played Lurking TIE Phantom, it died. Uh, let's just go here first. Take that unit off the board. And just get in for damage to start closing this game out. Yeah, Snoke's kind of shutting him out of the game. And there's the Avenger right on time to finish things off. I think we are okay letting Laser Blast go now so we can play Avenger. Yep, good game. Yeah, this updated list feels a lot better. Um, Definitely feels like it's getting to a place where I feel more confident with it, as I was kind of talking about in my last video. I think the one maybe card for me is uh, Long Pike, and maybe substituting that for like a couple more, maybe one more two drop. But I like having the Long Pike in here because it gives me a way to get shields on board for Vader to make Vader more impactful if I don't have the Sheehan Flurry. So I don't know, kind of still questionable, but deck feels like it's in a good place overall.